I've been going through some of my footage recently. I know we haven't done a big update in a little bit, but I just have a lot of diving footage and a lot of footage of just different areas of the ocean and different things that we've been seeing and doing. And I just wanted to sort of put together like a little video of some of the cool stuff that we've been seeing. And, we've been seeing sharks, and we've been seeing turtles and rays and all kinds of stuff. And I just wanted to try to put a little bit together. I don't have too much of it because to edit, but it's been, I had a lot, and I just thought I would try and share it with y'all. I just wanted to give some thoughts similar to my motorcycle thoughts about the ocean, and maybe a little bit about living on an island that's secluded from mainland and kind of out here, and what it really means to live here, and would I recommend what we did. I think overall for me it's been pretty great, but I think that's mainly because, like, when we were looking at our houses here and our options, my neighbor Brock, he came up and he's like, "Hey, I'm Brock, how you doing?" I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And he's like, "Good, let me know if you need help moving in, and do you like to spearfish?" And I always told myself, in Maryland and everywhere else that I've lived where I didn't really feel like it was home, that it's probably because I didn't immerse myself into the culture of the region. I didn't get up at 4 a.m. in Maryland and go on fishing boats to catch rockfish in the Chesapeake. And then eventually I started doing things like that, more Maryland things, and started to enjoy the state more. And it started to feel more like a place I wanted to be. And it took a long time. And I've kind of come to that realization about Okinawa as well. And, I feel like if I didn't have this hobby of getting in the water, and it's not always about, catching fish, it's just about seeing things and getting out there and immersing myself into part of the culture and part of the region, into part of nature. And it's kind of mesmerizing in a lot of ways. I was recently listening to one of my favorite podcasts. It's called Sightseeing Japan. I started listening to it when we found out we were going to come out here, and it's helped me think about places to go and things to do and things to see. And they recently did a podcast on forest bathing, which is a well-studied and practiced form of mindfulness in Japanese culture, where you just immerse yourself in the nature and the sounds and the feelings and just being a part of the environment that you find yourself in. And doctors actually prescribe forest bathing, which is just walking through a forest. It's not bathing in a forest, but it's walking through a forest, ideally calmly, without any extra stuff, not hiking to get somewhere, not fast hiking, but just really appreciating the sounds and the smells and the wind and everything that's there, right? Just the forest itself, not talking, not conversing or otherwise, just quietly walking and appreciating nature, right? And that's the way I feel when I'm out there in the ocean a lot of the time. I just feel like I'm part of it, and that I belong in a lot of ways, and that it feels like home. It reduces my stress and my anxiety, and it's just calming. I mean, it's exhausting too. It's not like I can slowly, calmly swim around. I'm diving down and I'm coming back up, and I'm taking my breaths, and I'm just focusing on the fish that I want to try to follow and hopefully hunt. So there's a lot of thought going into it as well, but especially the kick out and the kick back to wherever where I'm gonna drop my anchor and let my float rest. It's just nice to just go out and not think, and just go and not have a time frame, not know what the time frame is, and just go. And then eventually say, "I'm kind of tired. What do you say we head back?" We head back. And we don't know if it's been 2 hours or 4 hours, but it's been a while. So it's pretty nice. I really enjoy that aspect of it, the mindfulness and the just, it's a very solitary feeling being underwater. You can't talk to anybody. You can't again listen to music or catch up on the world. You're just out there, and the world could be literally ending, and you would have no idea until you got back in and finally pulled your phone out of your car or wherever you left it. And it's just really nice. we went out to this place called Torii Station. It's a circle reef. I'll try and put a picture up so you guys can kind of see the satellite image of what it is. And it was about a 1 kilometer kick out. And when we were kicking out, like, I had some footage when we could see some stingrays on the bottom, and we could see all kinds of crazy animals down there, and it was deep, and it was dark, and it was really cool. And then we finally got over the deep portion, and we got to the actual circle reef and swam around there for hours. And we got back, and we had checked our calories burned, and it was something like 1,600 calories. It was a crazy amount of calories for like a 3-hour morning. So, but it's great. And I love getting out there. And same thing, one of the guys I was going with, he swam back into shore. He's like 5 minutes behind us swimming back in. And he said he saw like a 20-foot manta ray, like a huge manta ray. I saw a whole family of bat rays, which unfortunately I didn't realize my 360 like turns off after 2 hours, even if it has memory still. And so I was kind of frustrated because I saw like 5 big old bat rays on the bottom of the ocean there, and it was super cool. I wish I had them on video. They were like 5 feet wide each, just swimming around down there. I was like, oh, this is so cool. So this is just what happens when you enmesh yourself with a culture, and I think it's good. But I think that for a lot of people it would be hard moving out here. I think a lot of people have a lot of trouble being out here. They get bored. They feel like there's not much to do. They just don't really try to get into either the military society or the culture of it, and like go to the balls and go to the events. They don't try to get out enough. I mean, I kind of get the young single Marines and sailors because they don't have cars and things like we do that makes it easier for us to become part of the society. They don't have the funds either to travel like we do. So I could see how that could be tough for them, right? But I love getting in the water. I love taking my family to see things in the water. My daughter fights it, but then when she gets out there, she has a blast every time. It's been a really happy turn of events for me, and I don't know that I'd want to stay here for like an extended another 3 years. Shayna really does, but I think I do want to go to mainland. But I think after 3 years of spearfishing, and say I had a really good experience with that, and it's been fun. From learning how to free dive. I mean, I haven't taken formal classes. I've been looking into them, but they're so expensive. But just sitting at a kid's practice and doing CO2 tables for 20 or 30 minutes, or doing O2 tables, and just practicing my breathing, even when I'm driving, or just sitting at work or other places. Wherever you're sitting, you can multitask and do some breathing exercises, and that's been fun. And I had my breath hold, my static breath hold. That means like a not moving, just sitting still breath hold up to 4 minutes. I think I got up to like 4:08. And my dynamic, like walking around, I could hold my breath while walking around for over 2 minutes. I think if I did right, I haven't practiced a lot because it is a lot of practice. It's like running. You can't just take 2 weeks off and expect to like jump back in and we're at the level you were. Maybe some people can, but you got to practice every day or every other day and keep on it. And it's hard to dedicate a half an hour or 40 minutes or whatever once you start getting better at holding your breath every day to that. So, and I invested a lot in gear. I pretty much have 2 of everything: 2 gloves, 2 poles, two fins, 2 of everything. So anytime you want to come out here, I'm happy to take you all spearfishing and snorkeling and everything else. It's been a lot of fun. And I've always been prone to overdoing it. As Shana says, whenever I get into a hobby, I tend to just go all in, and I don't hold back on all the things that I buy. It's kind of ridiculous. So, but yeah, I've been enjoying it. I still have very few pieces of gear left to get, but man, I have a pretty good setup right now, and it's fun. We try to get out every Thursday afternoon. I try to cut out a little bit early from work because the hospital kind of shuts down for training days for all the military, and I'm just sitting there. So I just try to get out with my buddy Brock and whoever else wants to go. We go out on Thursday afternoons, and we try to head up the water sometime on the weekend too. So we try to get out a couple times a week. With all these typhoons and everything, it's kind of thrown a lot of wrenches into it. But it's been It's been a really cool experience, really positive. Like I was talking about the meditative aspect of it. I get out there and you don't really have, unless you have like a dive watch, you don't really know what time it is. You don't have your phone, you don't have headphones, you're just listening to the crabs in the ocean and the rustle of the waves and anything else. And it's very silent. You can hear your own breathing and your own heartbeat. And as you go down, sometimes you come up and you'll see a giant houndfish or something, like a 5 foot long houndfish, and it looks freaky. And then it just surprises you out of nowhere because he wasn't there 20 seconds ago, and now it's this giant fish with big old needle teeth looking at you. Or like you'll be looking down and you'll actually run into like a log that's just floating on the surface. Luckily, I haven't like swam straight through a jellyfish or anything yet, because that would really stink. But you just get so caught up in the moment and where you are that it's mesmerizing. And I've really grown to love it, and I'm really appreciative for this aspect of being in Okinawa. And yeah, I hope you all can join me, and I'd love to see you out here. But yeah, take care.